31-29 Indiana Pacers come into the Bradley Center this evening for a matchup with the 25-35 Milwaukee Bucks. The Pacers, who are still one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, are currently fighting for playoff positioning as the season progresses. And we had the opportunity to catch up with Indiana native and Pacers starting point guard George Hill for an exclusive interview here at the shoot-around. Check it out now. All right, Derek Spallone, glad to be alongside Indiana Pacers guard George Hill. George, how you feeling today, man?
Doing pretty good.
Good, man. I appreciate you taking the time out. And just first and foremost, going back to where it all started for you, growing up in Indianapolis, how did that mold you into the person and player you are today?
I think it showed me that it's not just about basketball. It's about giving. It was an opportunity given to a young man coming from Indianapolis, a rough environment, rough neighborhood, and where a lot of crime and stuff is going on now with our youth. So I think it pushed me and set me on a platform to show that a lot of kids in the city that anything is possible. I've come up in neighborhoods like they have and done the same things that they have done, and I made it out of there. So showing that anything is possible.
And I mean, you definitely showcased that, but even going back, staying in that high school era, you were one of the top players coming out of high school in Indianapolis. You were part of that elite group known as the Magnificent Seven. It featured yourself, Greg Oden, and Eric Gordon, among a few others. But how did just matching up against those guys night in and night out and succeeding against them throughout the years help develop that confidence within yourself and bring out that competitive nature that you continue to have to this day?
Like you said, it's just competitive nature.
Right.
In every game that I played in high school, I was going against, eventually a person that's going to the NBA. And
right.
Like you said, Greg Oden, Mike Conley, Courtney Lee, Eric Gordon, Gordon Hayward,
yeah.
Jeff Teague and his brother. It goes on and on. So it's just that competitive nature, just trying to be the best I can and trying to, produce, good athletes and good basketball players like Indianapolis have been doing in the past years.
It must be pretty surreal seeing like the respective paths you all have taken as well. Let alone all those guys ending up playing professional basketball.
I mean, it's awesome to see, all those guys coming from Indianapolis and making a career for themselves. So I'm more than excited about, the city I grew up in, the city I was raised in, and things like that, and everyone who came a part of that and made it. So I always wish those guys luck, and I'm happy that they're doing great.
Yeah, perfect, man. And just a few more questions for you. I mean, I can imagine it's one thing to have the opportunity to play college basketball in your hometown, but it's probably a whole other feeling having the opportunity to, be the leader of your hometown NBA franchise. When you reflect back, just how special is that for you, having that opportunity, that responsibility, pulling together everybody as a unit to achieve one common goal?
I mean, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I always thank God every day for that. I always thank the Pacer organization for even giving the faith in me to be able to come back home and do well and try to put on a good, positive role model identity for the Pacers and for the community. So I owe the Pacers organization and the front office, Larry Bird and Donnie Walsh and all of them, the respect, but I always give God glory because without him, none of it would have been possible.
No, man. I mean, definitely true, man. That's good stuff. But my final question for you, I know you are very avid in giving back to the community, aside from the basketball world. You've also mentioned in the past the importance of, mentorship, having a mentor. I know that's had a huge impact on your life. But what's your advice to the youth when it comes down to achieving goals and then taking steps towards turning those dreams into reality?
It's crazy because, I have my own AAU organization called the George Hill Rising Stars that I help fund, and it's just, taking at-risk children and giving them a sense of place where they can use basketball as a stepping stone to get where they want to be in life. And growing up as a kid, I didn't have that.
Right.
And I always told myself whenever I make it to the NBA, and if I do, I was going to be that positive role model in that community where, guys and girls can look up to and say, man, I want to be just like George. And I give them a way out. And, I think it's doing a great job so far with all the kids that I have in my organization. I started with 10, and I'm at 120 plus now. And
that's got to be a great feeling, yeah.
I mean, the feeling is beyond awesome. It's something that I would never imagine, and something I always enjoy doing. So every summer it's just fun to go back and practice with those ladies and gentlemen and have fun with them.
Hill is currently averaging 12 points per game along with 3 assists per game and also corrals 4 rebounds per game. In fact, the Pacers are currently 11th in the league in regards to rebounding. The Pacers are also 5th in the league when it comes to forcing their opponents to turn the ball over, averaging about 16 forced turnovers per game. Covering the Indiana Pacers shoot-around here from the Bradley Center in downtown Milwaukee for Hidden Diamond Sports, Derek Spallone.